say you love me, we lie together every night. You touch me, I'm losing track of time. You kiss me, I look into your eyes, but it's only in my mind. 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 You say you love me, we lie together every night. You touch me, I'm losing track of time. You kiss me, I look into your eyes, but it's only in my mind. But it's only in my mind.
You're listening to Whip Radio. You can find us on the iHeart Radio and Radio FX app and on social media at Whip Radio. And action. What's up, everyone? You're listening to Film Maniacs here at Whip Radio. I'm your host, Emma Booth, everybody's favorite journalism and anthropology major, but separately a lover of movies and films. If you're a frequent listener, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. We are so happy to have you. You're listening to a station called Film Maniacs, where we dive into director styles, score choices, talking generally about movies that we like, and sometimes TV shows. So for anybody new, I typically do episodes with my co-host, Ava Mosby, but this semester she's studying abroad at the beautiful Temple Rome campus, and we miss her very dearly. But today, I have a very special person with me. Everybody give a warm welcome to my friend and fellow Temple Tapper, Abby Clemens.
Hi, I'm Abby. I'm a sociology major, and yes, I'm on the Temple Tappers dance team, and it's so fun, and I love Emma.
So if you guys don't know about Temple Tappers, they're basically the best dance team at Temple. Yeah. No tea, no shade to any other dance teams, but we are the premier tap dancing club at Temple University.
Yes,
so
the one and only.
Follow us on Instagram at Temple_Tappers. And if you want to come out to any of our recitals that we do recitals every semester. We have one coming up for the spring semester. And tickets are mostly free. So you should just pop out because
come see.
We do some really fun stuff. But today we're not here to talk about Temple Tappers.
No.
Today we are going to be talking about some classic rom-coms.
Yay.
Rom-coms are obviously beloved genre that blends humor, romance, and typically focuses on a central love story that encounters humorous obstacles before reaching a happy resolution.
Yes, for some background, the genre has roots in classical literature such as Shakespeare's A Midnight Summer's Dream, which combined witty banter, mistaken identities, and love-driven plots. And in early Hollywood, romantic comedies flourished in the 1930s and 40s with the screwball comedy era, featuring fast-paced dialogue and battle of the sexes dynamics, as seen in It Happened One Night in 1934, and Bringing Up Baby, one of my favorite movies, in 1938. The 1950s and 60s introduced more glamorous, sophisticated rom-coms, often starring actors like Audrey Hepburn in Roman Holiday and Breakfast at Tiffany's.
So the genre kind of evolved further in the 1980s and 90s with modern takes on romance and humor. So you think of films like When Harry Met Sally, Pretty Woman, and Notting Hill, which we're going to talk about today. These movies kind of focused more on emotional depth with witty dialogue and relatable relationship challenges. And then, the 2000s and beyond, rom-coms adapted to the changing social norms, incorporating more diverse perspectives and subverting traditional tropes. So, Crazy Rich Asians and To All the Boys I've Loved Before. So traditional theatrical rom-coms have kind of declined in favor of streaming and hybrid genres, but like the core appeal of love, laughter, and happy endings kind of just remains timeless.
It's a good time.
So that's a little bit of background on rom-coms if you didn't know. We're splitting up. We're going to talk about 6 movies today, and we're going to split them up kind of based off of shared trope or elements. You'll kind of get it as we go along. So let's just get into it. So first we have a couple enemies to lovers
One of my
movies,
favorites.
which is a classic trope. Enemies to lovers. Yeah, we got some other ones too, but So this movie is called 10 Things I Hate About You,
Y'all know it.
starring Heath Ledger and Julia Stiles. I think that's her name, right?
Sure.
Julia Stiles?
I think so.
So 10 Things I Hate About You, it's just we're going to give little summaries and then going to like get into like what we like, what we don't like, and just talk about the movie. It's going to be really chill. So 1999, came out in 1999, teen romantic comedy inspired by Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew. It follows Kat Stratford, independent teenager, and her younger sister Bianca, who is eager to date but forbidden to do so by their father unless Kat does first. So to get around this, a guy who's interested in Bianca, Cameron, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, convinces charming bad boy Patrick Verona, played by Heath Ledger, to date Kat in exchange for money.
Ooh.
So Patrick is initially reluctant, but then he begins to fall for Kat, and she starts to let her guard down. However, their budding romance is threatened when Kat discovers Patrick's original motive. The story culminates in a heartfelt reconciliation, with Kat expressing her feelings in a poem titled 10 Things I Hate About You. And this scene is so, like, emo, and she, like, cries. And it's
on it, yeah.
Yeah. And she kind of reveals her more vulnerable side and love for Patrick. It's just a witty, heartfelt exploration of love, individuality, and self-discovery. And honestly, probably one of my favorites on this list. I would say, if not my favorite on the list of what to talk about. So what are your thoughts on this movie?
I also love this movie. I haven't seen it in so long, and I also had no idea that it was based on a Shakespeare play. But yeah, I love like the whole like character development, especially because Kat in the beginning is so like, she's like feminist baddie, I hate everyone, don't talk to me. And then, you know, she kind of comes into her own. That one scene with Heath Ledger singing to her is in the back of my mind.
I love when men, boys, whatever you want to call them, do like theatrical things in movies, or when they do something that's like
a little embarrassing, but not the tap. Do you know the tap dance scene from Georgia and Ginny?
Oh yeah, not that
one. Anything but that.
Anything but that one, please.
But yeah, I also love like the relationship between the sisters.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, I also love the relationship between the sisters, Bianca and Kat, and their whole dynamic. Yeah, how they're kind of like are polar opposites, and then they teach each other lessons throughout it. Really like that. Also, Bianca and Cameron's relationship, I think, is really, really cute.
You like Bianca and Cameron better than Patrick and Kat?
I don't know better. I haven't seen the movie in so long.
Yeah.
I like forget, but I just know. I remember thinking that they were so cute, and their like little kiss scene in the car was cute.
Yeah,
and I was like giddy.
I always thought that I kind of. And I'm gonna get into it, and I'm gonna have a hot take about this movie.
Okay.
I don't like Bianca. I don't mess with her, like, at all. Except, I mean, she's okay, but I just thought she was really annoying.
Yeah,
and I always thought that Cameron was way too good for her, and like he was just pining after her.
Definitely,
and like she was just like not. She was just not doing it for me.
Exactly.
I don't know. And I always just thought, I was like, there's so many better girls, and like, why is nobody like Kat? First of all, can we talk about how hot Kat is? Like, if I was a guy, like, I would want her. I mean, not even if I was a guy, I do want her. Like, but like, if I was one of the guys in this movie, I mean, like, I would be going for her. And I don't know why everyone's acting like she's this weirdo, like, crazy feminist girl.
That's what I'm saying.
She's the realest one out of all of them.
They always have the freaks played by baddies.
They always have the freaks played by the baddest one out there. Yeah, like, I don't know. I really like Kat. I just think her character is so cool. Like, she's so smart.
Her
and
outfits,
like,
her hair.
Her outfits. And the scene where she's like dancing on the table in the party.
I love that scene.
I love it so much. I also love how the movie kind of like points out the misogyny against her. How like all the guys just hate her because she is outspoken and she wants to go to Sarah Lawrence, which I applied to go to Sarah Lawrence and I got in. But it was really expensive.
You could have gone to school with Kat.
I could have if it were 1999, but
shit.
And if she was real. But yeah, we probably would have dated if I went to Sarah Lawrence, you think?
Probably.
You think she'd be into me?
Yes,
I think
course.
So. Yeah, so I really like the scene where she's dancing, and also the vibe of this movie in general is so cute. Like, I feel like 90s rom-coms are just very special, and they're not really replicated anymore. And people just don't know how to do them.
I miss the vibe.
But also like, they're never going to do it good again.
No.
Like it's just like
it's
for
also
the
just
era.
how it was filmed. Like I remember reading something about this, but like just the camera quality of the 90s.
Yes.
It felt so like real, like a home video.
Yes.
So we'll never feel like we're actually in the movie anymore because it's like so hyper realistic.
And it was also filmed at a real high school in like
really?
Seattle. Yeah, and the band that does the like when he sings "Can't Take My Eyes Off of You," that's like the real like Padua High School band.
That's awesome.
That's with him.
Wow.
So
They get
I don't
the
know.
recognition they
I love
deserve.
that they use the real band, and like now that school is kind of the famous 10 Things I Hate About You school, which I was just in
Wow.
Seattle over winter break, and
You should have
I
gone
should have
there.
gone, but I didn't. I
Nah.
didn't. I also, I was going to say I really like the sister dynamic as well, but I like how especially like their experiences with these guys brings them together.
Yes, exactly.
And I love the like camaraderie of that because they are sisters and they're like almost like in competition with each other, or they think that the other one is
but
weird
they realize
because
they
they're
have
different.
more similarities.
They do. And like Kat is vulnerable with Bianca
Yeah.
about like what happened with her, with Joey.
Yeah.
Which Joey is like the guy who's
He's
like
the bad guy.
He's the bad guy.
He's gross and yucky, and we don't like him.
We don't like him. And Loki, Patrick was dirty for what he did.
Yes,
he
can
really
we talk
should-
about that?
He should have told Kat earlier about
Like way earlier.
way earlier. And because if I found out through somebody else that my man was
We're over.
was paid to date me, like, oh my God, that is traumatizing.
That's like one of the
That is so
worst.
traumatizing. That's like that joke where it's like, oh yeah, my mom paid me to hang out with you, like when your friends say that or something.
Yeah, like
And you're
times
like,
10.
oh, haha, you're so funny. But then like,
No, it was real.
I guess it was real. Like, does that actually happen? I wonder like if that is actually realistic. Like people,
I don't think so.
I don't think people really pay to like make somebody go out. Like, I don't know.
I mean, arranged marriages, maybe. I don't know.
well, yeah, but I mean like with like your friends and stuff. Like,
Definitely, that is so like movie, high school type
I know,
of thing
but
that doesn't happen.
but like you know how there are like some awkward kids in school, and their mom like really wanted them to make friends, so like maybe they
Yeah.
paid like
maybe
kids to be friends with them. You never. I don't know if that
You
would
never
actually
know.
happen, but it happens in movies, so it must be true.
it must be true.
But also like if I was Patrick, I did that because you know he didn't know about Kat. He didn't know if he liked her before
Yeah.
he started talking to her. He should have known that was the wrong thing to do. But also, if I started talking to somebody because somebody paid me to do that,
He's a teen boy.
and then I realized I really liked them, I wouldn't know how to even bring that up. I wouldn't know what to say.
I
Like,
wouldn't either. But I feel it just should have been done earlier. And then
Yeah.
at the end, I feel like we didn't really get like I don't know. He didn't get the punishment he deserved.
Yeah, I think, yeah. But also, I get it because, like, I would do the same, girl. Like, I would literally do the same. Like, I would go back. Like I said earlier, I was like,
Well,
I don't know if I go back. But yeah, I'd said that I hated Bianca, but also, I feel like it's important to note that, like, she's 16, aren't she, like, portraying a 16-year-old?
She's the youngest daughter.
And also, like, I would have, like, I acted like that when I was 16 because...
probably acted worse.
And I wish I could have been a Cat type in high school, but I was definitely more
I
of a
wasn't cool
Bianca.
enough.
You were what?
I said I wasn't cool enough.
No, like I just was a Bianca because I was like trying to be like something that I thought everybody
Yeah.
wanted me to be, and
Yeah.
I just
And that's like one of the whole things is that you have to like learn through experience
yeah
that you don't have to be like that.
yeah exactly. So my overall rating 10 out of 10 because I love this movie, but
Mine was 8 out of 10.
Ooh.
If I watch it again, it might be more.
oh, and that's a two.
Yeah.
So next movie is
Clueless.
Hey.
Okay. Clueless is a lighthearted teen comedy about Cher, a wealthy and stylish high schooler in Beverly Hills who loves matchmaking and makeover projects. She's confident and well-meaning, but also a bit naive. And after successfully setting up 2 teachers, she decides to give a new student, Ty, a full makeover and help her climb the social ladder. Along the way, Cher starts to realize her own flaws, navigates her complicated feelings for her ex-stepbrother, Josh, and learns that there's more to life than appearance and popularity. Josh is mature, socially conscious, and often teases her for being superficial. And as Cher grows and starts to see beyond her shallow tendencies, she realizes that Josh has been there for her all along. And the relationship kind of shifts from playful banter to genuine affection, making for sweet and satisfying romance. It's a funny, heartwarming story with great fashion and clever dialogue, loosely based on Jane Austen's Emma.
Ooh.
Shout out to Emma.
Shout out to Emma.
This was based off her.
I read Emma when I was younger, but I also don't
Really?
remember the plot because my mom
Have
made
you
me
watched the
read it.
movie?
No,
It's good.
My mom made me read it, but I don't remember what happens. I don't remember. I know it's like coming of age and it's like a period piece, but also I hate period pieces. Don't recommend me a period piece ever. Oh. Don't recommend me a period piece.
I won't.
You know who I'm talking about.
Oh.
You know I have it out for period pieces. I don't know why.
All right, back to...
Yeah, I hate when they talk about menstruation. Period pieces are just bad.
Back to the task at hand.
Back to the task at hand. I really like this movie. I feel like it's your classic popular girl makes over nerdy girl trope. But the love story was kind of unexpected. Like when you think about a rom-com, like I think about Clueless as a rom-com, but also not at the same time.
It's like very much more about Cher as a person.
Yeah.
And she just happens to have an amazing romance.
Right.
So, yeah.
And also like Paul Rudd, like he's so dreamy, I think.
I love Paul Rudd.
I don't know. Also, yeah, Josh and Cher, obviously they get together, but they're just so random. But then when you watch it again and you see like the build up, like it kind of isn't random at the same time.
Like your first time watching it, you would not expect it.
Yeah. So, oh my God, I forgot to give a spoiler alert. But obviously, if you're listening to this, you know that there's spoilers. I kind of wanted her to be with Elton, but then he ended up being like really mean.
Is that the guy? Wait.
No, Elton is like the hot one.
Yes.
He was like the bad boy. But he was like actually not
same.
a good
At first,
guy.
I was like, oh, he's cute.
He literally left her and then she got mugged.
No, I know.
You remember that part?
She got that was horrible.
But some of my favorite aspects, like I really love the costuming in this movie. I feel like that's the one thing that people think of, like the aesthetic, like the costumes, like the outfits, like everybody was fitted up.
It's so good.
Everybody was fitted up. And I know it's like Beverly Hills high school type beat, but and like everybody's rich, but like the scene where like she's picking her outfit and she's like going through like the TV, like it's so I need that. And I also like how Cher was popular and superficial, but she was never really a mean girl.
No.
Like she was actually pretty nice to everybody.
She was always nice.
Even though she did like she was kind of like judgy and would be like, ooh, like you need a makeover. Like she was never like outwardly like mean to people. I don't think. Yeah. Maybe I'm remembering wrong.
She had, even if she was a little mean, she had like the best interest, I guess, because she just wanted people to like feel their best.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was able to stick up for herself.
And I also think her character development was interesting because, you know, she's like a rich girl. She's always gotten everything she wanted. But then, you know, she has an epiphany when she realizes that she can't get everything she wants because, you know, she fails her driver's test. She's a virgin who can't drive.
True.
So, yeah, she learns how to cope with failure and she, like, you know, starts to appreciate the people in her life. And I like that it follows, like, teenage girl drama in, like, a way that is serious and unserious at the same time because it's so... Because, like, I mean... rom-coms and a lot of the movies that I feel like we're talking about, like a lot of them aren't very realistic, and that's kind of the point. Like you want to have this like fantasy in your mind with these type of movies, and that's why they're entertaining because they like it's like escapism. But I do think that in this movie, like it is nice to see how like the issues with friends are kind of portrayed because they're so serious and unserious at the same time. And I feel like that when you look back at like any feuds that you've ever had with your friends in middle school or high school, like it was not that deep, but also in your mind it was so deep. In your mind it was so deep.
Like life was about to end.
Literally. Like, and everything is such a big deal when you're in high school and when you're in middle school. And after leaving high school is when you really realized that you like left the fishbowl and that like nothing is as dramatic as it seems.
And then you look back and you're like, what?
But then like there's drama in college too for sure, but like it's different. It's different.
Yeah.
Because it's not like your whole life. Like when you're in high school, like your whole life is going to school. Your whole life is going to school. Your friends at school. Like I feel like in college, like you know, school is so big and like there's so many other aspects. Yeah. Like you don't see people all the time and
there's like work.
Like, there's a lot of other things.
Real world.
I don't know. I thought it was weird that like Cher just wanted to like fix Ty and basically like change everything about her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think giving a makeover is bad because obviously it gives him confidence and style, but I feel like she completely changed her personality and then made Ty, like, put on, like, this. And then Ty became a mean girl. And I also think that this movie does kind of, like, unfortunately, like, I hate to be, like, the liberal snowflake, but, like, it does perpetuate female stereotypes of being into clothing and makeup, like, makes you shallow.
Yeah.
Which isn't always true. And also, like, it made, like, giving a makeover to Ty, like, makes her mean. Or, like, making her hot, like, makes her mean. Which obviously is not
true.
Not the case. But overall rating, 7 out of 10.
Oh.
So.
All right. This is actually one of my favorite movies of all time.
Hey.
Clueless. I will literally watch this, like, once a month if I could. But I love this movie. I love the exaggerated like 90s themes and like all the little sayings and all the little like things of the time. Obviously, I wasn't around, but you know, I love it. Yes, I was also saying I agree with that. The romance was like very unexpected, but it's so cute. And like the scene, I think it's a scene where she's about to leave for a party or for a date with the gay guy. But Josh is like at the table with the father, like doing lawyer work or whatever, and he like turns around and like gets super jealous. I don't know. I just think it's cute. All like the little scenes of like his face being like,
because like they used to be like step
yearning.
siblings or something, right?
See that? Yeah. When I first watched it, I was
let's
like,
talk about it.
Wait.
They're ex step siblings though.
Exactly. But still, that was also whatever. It's fine. Technically nothing wrong with it. But yeah, and I love the like redemption and character development because I think Cher is a great person. Obviously, she is also a teenage girl, and yes, she tried to change Ty, which was not good. Especially when Ty liked that skater boy, and then Cher was like, "No, you're not allowed to like him. He's gross." And Ty was like, "Oh, what the heck?"
But
and
then
she
the
tried to
skater
send
boy
him off
actually kind of liked Cher, and he was trying to get with Cher. I think.
Really?
Remember?
No, he was trying to get with Ty.
Oh,
He didn't want Cher.
I thought he did. Maybe that was just Elton or whatever.
Elton wanted Cher.
But
Yeah.
So we are gonna go into.
Oh, but I give it a 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah, 10 out of 10. Sorry about that. We're gonna go into our first break, and we will be back in a few minutes. So we'll see you in a bit.
Bye.
All right, we are back.
Hey.
Hopefully you didn't miss us too much, but we're going to get into some other movies. We're going to start talking about some lesbian rom-coms.
Yay. Okay.
So we're going to get into...
So the first one we're going to talk about is But I'm a Cheerleader. This is a satirical romantic comedy about Megan, a high school cheerleader who seems to have the perfect life. She's popular, has a boyfriend, and is part of a loving family. However, her friends and family suspect she might be a lesbian. So they stage an intervention and send her to a conversion therapy camp called True Directions. At the camp, Megan meets a group of quirky teens who are also sent there to fix their sexuality. While going through the camp's absurd and stereotypical exercises, Megan begins to question her own identity. Things take a turn when she falls for another camper, Graham, a rebellious and confident girl who challenges the camp's teachings. So, this is another one of my favorite movies, honestly, of all time. I think it's kind of genius. The, irony and satire of it all is hilarious. The exaggerated campness and colors of everything. And RuPaul. The fact that RuPaul is in this, and I will have my friends watch this movie with me, once a new moon or something.
Once a blue moon.
Exactly. That's what I meant. And they're like, RuPaul. So I think it's hilarious, especially because he has to play a straight man.
Yeah.
But obviously, he's not straight. That's another one of my favorite things.
He's playing a guy who went to conversion. He's playing a gay guy who's closeted as straight and convincing himself that he's straight.
Exactly.
And so he's putting on, he's like, I went to conversion therapy and if you watch the movie, you know what I'm saying.
But he's gay because he's RuPaul. And the character is obviously gay. But yeah, I love this movie.
Also, it has the guy who's Zuko in Avatar: Last Airbender, and every time that I watch this and I hear his voice, I'm like, oh my god, that's literally Zuko.
Watch this movie, you'll know exactly who it is.
Yeah.
But the soundtrack is one of my favorite things. I literally have a saved soundtrack in my phone playlist. It's just lots of good cutesy little 90s songs. The slow character development and the whole coming of age aspect of it I think is beautiful, especially because it's a queer movie. So she's really realizing what queerness is within herself, especially because at the end of the movie she goes to these ex-conversion camp guys who kind of take in the people who get kicked out of their conversion camp,
not the people who get I guess they do get
the people
kicked
who
out.
leave or get
but
kicked
they're also
out.
kicked out of their homes.
Exactly, kicked out of their homes, so they have nowhere to go.
Right.
And she's kind of asking them how do I be a lesbian, and they're like, well, you just be yourself, basically. And I think that's beautiful. Also,
this movie came out in 1999, which, I mean, it wasn't crazy long ago. That's 26 years ago, but there weren't any lesbian movies like this at the time, or movies that featured if there were movies that had gay people in them, they were side characters, or the comic relief, or the butt of the jokes. And this movie, everybody's gay, and the only other thing out at the time that I feel it was that is the L word.
Yes.
Which I love. Oh my god, I love the L word.
I haven't finished it.
You have to. It's so good.
And I love I don't know, even all the stereotypes in the movie. It's very stereotypical, every single character, but I think that's just so camp. I low-key love it.
Oh my god, the one character of the girl who's
the Australian, or the one, emo one?
No, the one who's everybody thinks that I'm gay, but I'm actually not.
That confused me.
I want sausage.
When I first watched it, I was like, wait, what?
No, because it was kind of real, because they're everybody just thinks that I'm gay because I play softball and have a short haircut, but I'm straight. And she actually is straight. And she's
and
she got sent to the conversion camp just to
is she straight?
Because everybody thought she was gay, and she's I'm actually not.
That's really
and
funny.
She's crying about it. It was so funny.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I feel to bring attention to concentration camps or conversion camps. Oh my god. To bring attention to conversion camps at this time, was it's obviously really good. I don't. Sorry, that's I'm thrown off now. But bringing attention and awareness to these places is very important. It's also very real and at least relatable to me, because I really relate to Megan because like she really like didn't think she was gay, and like that was like my experience like coming out as well, like because all her interests were like she's a cheerleader, like she likes makeup, she's very femme, and like all of my interests were like that too. And like there's not really, you know, you kind of like the image that we're given of like lesbians in the media is like butch and like mask, or just like,
but
you
she's
know,
just a girly girl.
Like, but you can be a girly girl and be gay as well.
Yeah.
But also let's be honest, a lesbian like Graham would cheat on Megan in a heartbeat. Like, let's be so real. There's no way you're telling me that they make it out, because Graham had issues. Not issues, but like you could tell that she was
angsty.
She was angsty, and she definitely is a player. So I don't think that.
I mean, love Graham though.
I do like. I do,
Graham.
but also I think it's just because Clea Duvall's really hot.
Yeah.
So. The color grading, the colors.
Yes, it's so good.
All the colors are so fun and like pop. It almost reminds me of the Cat in the Hat movie, where like all the colors are just like so vibrant, and it's like a cartoon almost.
It also shows like the ridiculousness of the conversion
camp. It's very camp.
Yes. Because when they're doing like, they're teaching the boys how to be manly, they all like have to wear bright blue and like run around.
And the boys wear bright blue and the girls wear bright pink because obviously. Also Kathy Moriarty plays the like the head of the concentration camp, and she is like so good at this role. And RuPaul, it was obviously so funny. And like the girls are like, you know, defining their own future, defying social norms together. Like the plot is just so cute. And I think the scene is so iconic. Like I'm a homosexual.
Yeah,
I'm homosexual.
There's so many iconic lines from this movie. There's another one, the very like hyper feminine boy who like during the club scene he like has the boa and he like
his name's like Dolphin or something
like that. But I love him. He has like the best quotes of the entire movie.
He is funny. He do be saying the funny stuff.
Love him.
I also I wrote also how cute the neighbors of the camp were, Larry and Lloyd. How they took in the abandoned gay kids and took care of them. And it's the kind of representation that shows how the queer community really rallies for each other and has each other's back, and how you create your found family. Like people talk about that all the time, but like it's real for a lot of people. And I also really like Graham's ability to like kind of get Megan out of her shell and like be herself while also like falling in love with each other. I didn't really have any like least favorite aspects of this movie. The only thing I can say is like it's kind of kitschy. Like there are some parts that are like a little bit like kitschy and like kind of like cringy or whatever, but that's
the vibe of it.
That's the vibe of it. And that's just me being picky because I have to write like favorite and least favorite aspects. So overall rating 9 out of 10.
I give it a 10 out of 10.
Hey!
You already know.
Okay. Next, we're going to talk about Imagine Me and You, which I just watched this movie and I've been wanting to watch it for a really long time. And I think it's one of my new favorite, like, lesbian rom-com because I just think it's so cute and it's British and, like, they're just British and cute. And, like, both of the girls are so pretty and it was very, like, aesthetical. So, Imagine Me and You begins with Rachel and Heck, a loving and seemingly perfect couple, celebrating their wedding day. During the ceremony, Rachel catches the eye of Luce, the charming and free-spirited florist who arranged the flowers for the event. In that brief moment, something shifts for Rachel, though she doesn't fully understand it yet. Basically, she's like, "Ooh, you know when you meet someone and you just want to be their best friend?" That's what she tells us. She has a line where she says, "I don't know, I just met her and I feel like I just want to be her best friend and I've known her forever." And I'm like, girl,
let me tell you something.
Let me hold your hand when I say this. However, Rachel begins to feel a deeper connection to Luce, one that she can't ignore. This unexpected attraction caused Rachel to question her feelings for Heck and the life she's always envisioned for herself. Luce, on the other hand, is hesitant to pursue anything with Rachel, not wanting to come between her and Heck. Ultimately, Rachel must decide whether to stay in her comfortable, predictable life with Heck or take the leap of faith with Luce, who represents a love that's passionate, freeing, and completely unexpected. And guess what? Luce and Rachel end up together.
Oh, spoilers. Also, what kind of name is Heck?
And what kind of name is Luce? Like, be Lucy or don't be anything, because
Heck, like you're not gonna have a good
what
ending.
The heck kind of name is Heck? But yeah, I wanted to add that part because I feel like movies like this or a lot of other like lesbian rom-coms, like they never end up together in the end, or like somebody dies or it's tragic
or they're sad or they're like a period piece a lot of the time.
Like everybody tells me to watch Portrait of a Lady on Fire, and I know that I should.
Good.
I know that I should, but
you have to.
I hate period pieces and I hate slow burns.
Yeah.
So like And I know that they
it's like a very beautiful
they get excited
movie
when they
just
like
about
brush
women.
arms together, when they
Yeah.
like brush fingers, and I just can't with that kind of stuff. Like,
It's just a very
But-
good movie about women in general. Like, I don't think there's a single man in the whole entire movie,
well,
which is lovely.
that's good.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've never seen a story like this before in a movie where it's like, I feel like you always see the husband and wife with like the husband being the gay one, but we never see it with like a lesbian storyline. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the classic like straight girl gets turned is kind of tired. I don't know, but also not very realistic. That's what I wrote. I know they needed to bring them together, but like a florist would never go to the reception of the wedding that she's making the flowers for. But that, you know.
Yep.
And I feel like the love at first sight thing was just kind of like, bruh, come on. Anyway, but both the actresses are really pretty, like I said, and they're so pretty together. I think Luce is like really, really hot, and I want to know if the actress is gay in real life because she just played that part really well. And also I like that they represented the family as having like one supportive parent and one like kind of skeptical parent.
Yeah.
Like when Rachel came out to her parents closer to the end, like the father was really supportive and the mother was really skeptical and like super like judgmental. And I feel like with lesbians, like that's really real. Like some people kind of expect like the dad to be weird about stuff, but like normally it's the mom who's like really judgy if like her daughter's a lesbian because they want her to like uphold the like female values of the family and stuff like that. And they're like, and she asked her, she's like, well, who else are you in love with? And then she's like, I'm in like, who's the man? And she's like, it's a woman and her name is Luce. And then the mom goes, so a woman and another woman. And she's like, yes. And she's like, so you're a woman and you like another woman. And she's like, yes. And I'm like, bro. But yeah, like the lighting in this movie was so like light and airy, and it felt very right for like a femme for femme story. And then there's a classic chase scene at the end of the movie, kind of like Notting Hill, which we're gonna talk about later. But like, what were your favorite aspects?
Yeah, I haven't seen this movie also in like a while. But same, I like that I also said that this movie, I like that it's like lighthearted, just like a normal rom-com, because I feel like, as you said, like a lot of lesbian romances like have to be super crazy and like, I don't know. But this
Drama.
one's just normal, lighthearted. Well, not normal, but you know, lighthearted, funny, whatever. I also like that they don't play too much into like this whole thing of like coming out. Like, it's not, I feel like she just likes her, and it's not, I feel like she doesn't have that big of a thing where she's
Right.
like, oh,
She
I'm
never,
a lesbian.
no, like Rachel never says like I'm a lesbian. She just says like
Yeah.
I'm in love with Luce.
Exactly. So it's more
Which-
about like the
It's
individual.
more about the love and then not like identity, which I think is important
Yes.
too. Or like it's cool.
And then I also liked how it wasn't super hypererotic. Like I don't think they have like a really dirty scene.
No,
Which
they just
like.
have like a steamy makeout sesh
Yeah.
in the back of the flower
especially
shop.
we know that lesbian films directed by men, they like to be really crazy
Yeah,
for no reason.
yeah.
But anyways,
Anyway.
yeah, it's very light and pure. I also like the colors. Like I think Rachel, is that the main girl?
Yeah.
She in the beginning like wears a lot of white.
Because
Whatever.
it's her wedding.
Well, like her shirt's even
Oh,
just white, but yeah, because to like symbolize that
like
she's
the
wife.
pureness.
Exactly.
Yeah, the
And then
pureness.
I feel
And then
like
she gets, you know,
impure. Just kidding.
she becomes impure because she becomes a lesbian.
Yeah.
There were some weird things in this movie though. Like there's like a little girl in this movie, and I just remember at the end she has this like when Heck is like really sad that Rachel's leaving him for a woman, or just like leaving him in general. Like the little girl is talking to him and he goes like, and she's like consoling him, and I think she's Rachel's younger sister or like niece or something like that. And he says something along the lines of like, oh, maybe I should have just married you or something.
girl?
Yes. And I was like, oh my God. And
Ew.
then she was like, maybe in 10 years, like if you're still single.
Heck, what the heck?
Yeah, heck, what the heck? Like, why did you say that? Hello?
That's
Also
disgusting.
Cooper, which is like Heck's friend. He's so weird. He like is trying to get with Luce the entire time, and she's like,
Ew.
I'm gay, it's never gonna happen. And he's like, we'll see about that. And like he's like still
Okay.
trying.
Okay, Cooper.
And then also cheating is bad, and they do cheat. So
That I was also going to mention. I forgot to mention
yeah,
that.
I do think cheating is
Not
bad.
good.
But so
Even if you're a lesbian,
even if you're
it's
a
still
lesbian,
bad.
even if you're a lesbian, it's still bad. And on that note, we're going to go into our second break, and we will be back in a few minutes to talk about our last two movies.
Bye.
Pushing and peeling myself out of my disguise. Looking at you now, I'm wondering who am I? If I could try to take you back, I couldn't define. Feeling absence of time, knowing all is decided. There's nothing here left to find. The story's all in my mind. Pushing and peeling the layers that cover my mind. Looking into the shadow, now I notice the light. Magic is real when you see it inside, you decide. It's like a snake shedding skin, creating life to begin, and all you knew has vanished again, transcending virtue and sin. Fix my eyes on all the things, more beauty is a symptom of life. Gotta decide if I'm gonna see it right. Feast our eyes on all the things when suffering is craving the light. Gotta decide how we're gonna heal it right. Feast my eyes on all the things, more beauty is a symptom of life. Gotta decide if I'm gonna see it right. Feast our eyes on all the things when suffering is craving the light. Gotta decide how we're gonna heal it right. Yeah, gotta decide how we're gonna feel it right. Trying to find out. Gotta know that life is fragile. Gotta know, but gotta go. I stood in awe inside a temple. Oh God, I didn't wanna go find the one who understands why we wait for pain to change us. So let me know that life is fragile. It's like a turbulent sand making way to the ocean, almost meeting the end because the birds are in motion. Fix my eyes on all the things, more beauty is a symptom of life. Gotta decide if I'm gonna see it right. Feast our eyes on all the things when suffering is craving the light. Gotta decide how we're gonna heal it right. Feast my eyes on all the things, more beauty is a symptom of life. Gotta decide if I'm gonna see it right. Feast our eyes on all the things when suffering is craving the light. Gotta decide how we're gonna heal it right. Yeah, gotta decide how we're gonna feel it right. Trying to find out.
All right, we are back for our last segment. We're gonna get into our last couple of movies, and the first one. Well, okay, we didn't even talk about the. Oh yeah, we did. I was gonna say we didn't introduce like the themes, but we did enemies to lovers first, and then the last one was lesbian rom-coms. This one was kind of hard to like you know, put them together in one theme, but I am calling this the one that got away. They're both kind of like ones that got away.
All right.
So the first one we're going to talk about is 500 Days of Summer.
Yes, so 500 Days of Summer follows Tom, a greeting card writer, as he reflects on his 500-day relationship with Summer, a woman he meets at work. The story is told out of order, jumping between the joyful beginnings of their romance and the painful moments after their breakup.
Ooh.
Yes. Tom is immediately smitten with Summer, charmed by her quirky personality and shared love of music. Despite Summer's early insistence that she doesn't want a serious relationship, Tom becomes deeply invested in their connection. They share fun, romantic experiences, but cracks in the relationship begin to show as their differing expectations and feelings surface. Eventually, Summer ends things, leaving Tom heartbroken and questioning everything. As Tom processes their time together, he begins to see how his idealized view of Summer clouded his understanding of their relationship. The story comes full circle when Tom and Summer meet again, and she reveals surprising changes in her life. The film ends with Tom finding a renewed sense of hope and a new beginning. All right.
Thoughts?
My thoughts about this movie, I also, like you said with Clueless, had a hard time, like, even categorizing this as a romantic comedy because it, like, doesn't have the necessary, like...
You think? I would think of this as a rom-com for sure.
Because, I don't know, like, it doesn't have, like... In the context of their relationship, there's not a quote-unquote happy ending because they don't end up together.
Right, but that doesn't... I think there are rom-coms that don't have happy endings, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I guess. But
I think there should be rom-coms that have happy endings and some that don't.
And I agree with you.
Like, there's got to be variety.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed, like, the story and how it was, like, portrayed. I like the whole jumping around thing.
Yeah, me too.
I did, like, also find it unexpected, sort of, when Summer, like, rejected Tom because we are seeing it, like, through the eyes of Tom, I guess.
Yeah. He's so down bad.
Very down bad. Yeah, kind of shows how you can't apply fantasy to reality. He's so caught up in his little fantasy that he can't even see if they're even right for each other or if she even likes him or if he even really likes her. He just likes the idea of her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is very manic pixie dream girl trope, which, if you know, you know. Like, I talked about this in, like, I did an episode on, like, tropes a while ago, and I talked a lot about manic pixie dream girl because it's one of my favorite tropes, just because it's very interesting and very interesting comedy on, like, male and female dynamics and, like, feminism in a way. And, yeah, he really is, like, he doesn't even really know her, but he's so in love with this idea of her that he thinks that everything is going fine. But, like, honestly, when you really watch it, like, he doesn't even really try to get to know her throughout their relationship. Like, he has fun with her and stuff like that, but he doesn't know her, and he thinks he knows her. And that is very dangerous, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this also kind of shows, like, the male gaze, as we were saying.
Not the male G-A-Y-S, the male G-A-Z-E.
Exactly. We love the male gaze.
Yes, we love the G-A-Y-S, but not right now.
Yeah. That's what I have to say. What about you, Emma?
What about you, Emma? I like that. Genuinely, I really love this movie. I think this is one of my favorite rom-coms because it's so much different than the other ones, and like I really like the way that like the pacing is, and I like how it's just interesting. It's not like your normal like format. And also, I'm just realizing we have 2 movies with Joseph Gordon-Levitt because he was in Clueless as well.
Oh my God, you're right. Oh wait, no, he was in
Clueless and 500 Days of Summer, and we're talking about both of them.
Wasn't he the one in 10 Things I Hate About You?
Oh
yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
10 Things you're right. You totally
right.
Yeah. I got that wrong.
It's okay.
But yeah, I just think it's a really interesting storyline. I can't really think of another movie that has this storyline, which is a good thing. And it was executed really well, and I think it's a lot better version of the manic pixie dream girl trope because she didn't she says she doesn't believe in love when they're like first talking and hanging out, that she doesn't believe in love, which is kind of giving like not like other girls, and like I was like, oh, what? Okay,
yeah.
But I digress.
I guess she's just never fallen in love before.
Yeah, because
until
the ending, she ends up. Spoiler alert, that was a lie because she ends up believing in love later on.
Yeah. So she just didn't love Tom.
Yeah, and she also, like, I think a lot of people talk about how she, like, Tom thinks that she's this perfect girl, and, like, but he doesn't even really know her. And she does actually have a lot of flaws. Like,
yeah.
I feel like, what was I going to say? The way that Summer, like, what was I going to say about this? Oh, yeah. Summer has negative traits, and I don't like, because she kind of like brushes off Tom's feelings when he like asks like, oh, what are we, like, where do we stand, because they agreed to be in a casual relationship at first, but then like after a few months, like he kind of is like, I want to take things further, and she's like, well, why do we have to do that if we're both happy? It's fine. It's fine. And like, if I were her and I just wanted something casual and I knew that I just wanted something casual, if my partner is telling me that like they want to go further, I would just end it there.
Yeah.
Personally.
She let him on.
She let him on a little bit. And I think she should have broken it off there because like she could tell that he didn't want the same thing as her anymore, and it just caused more hurt on him, and that could have been avoided.
Yeah.
But also like, I also think Tom is like a weirdo too. So, but I think that this movie just does such a good job of like portraying both of their flaws and like you know, pointing out things in a relationship that like a lot of people tend to ignore. I really like the way that Summer communicates and talks to him at the end. Like, she's just so smart and articulate. She's so mature. And she's not ditzy like a lot of other female characters are written.
Especially the manic pixie
Yes.
dream girl trope.
Yes. And, like, I feel like Zooey Deschanel is always written to be, like, this ditzy girl. Like, because, like, her character in New Girl is, like,
Very
I love
ditzy.
Jess, but also sometimes they write her kind of, like, annoyingly.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I like that they're able to show, like, an amicable breakup. And both Tom and Summer learn something from being together, which is really how it should be if you communicate well and it just isn't working. Because, like, they meet at the end and then, you know, Summer, she's engaged or then she gets married and he's like, wow. And then she's like, well, I thought I didn't believe in love, but I guess I just wasn't in love with you.
Yes.
It was kind of, like, harsh, low-key, but, like, I mean, she said it in a nicer way, I think.
Quote, she said, I woke up and I knew what I was never sure of with you.
Yeah,
Which
like,
bars.
damn. Like, if I heard that, if I was, like, meeting up with the ex and I heard that, I would actually, like,
End it.
yeah, unalive myself. I can't say the other one on air, but and also, like, I love the Smiths. I love the Smiths.
I love the Smiths.
I love the Smiths. I love how they love the Smiths. I like the
That's so
filter on
funny.
everything too. Like, everything's like it's
very like yellow.
I was about to say it's like sepia.
What's that?
The sepia filter. Look it up. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, I will.
Look it up right now. You're like, I will.
Wait, how do you spell it?
Sepia. 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 And there was like the cinematography was really cute.
Yes.
But yeah, Tom, low-key a weirdo. But like the movie is aware of the fact that he's a weirdo.
He's a freak.
So,
He's a nerd.
Yeah, they address his weirdness. And then he kind of, you know, he has this happy ending. You know, there's like a girl named Autumn. Of course, her name's Autumn
I forgot
at the
about
end. She's like, hi, I'm
that.
Autumn. And then they like go on a date and then the movie ends. So
Yeah, but he's just gonna continue, I feel like, the same cycle.
I don't think so because he
isn't
did
it in
learn
the-
a lot, I think.
Isn't it in the beginning of the movie? They were like, oh, is this gonna be another this person situation? Didn't they say something like that?
I don't remember,
Oh.
but maybe.
Well, we'll see.
What do you think about Sepia?
I love it. As I said, it's yellow. I knew exactly what you meant.
It was all yellow. I love that song. Anyway, rating of 500 Days of Summer, 10 out of 10.
I think I give it like a 9 out of 10.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
All right. Then we're gonna get into Notting Hill, which is our last
Yay.
movie. We only have like a couple minutes. So Notting Hill centers on William Thacker. He's a bookshop owner in London's Notting Hill district. And Hollywood movie star Anna Scott, very famous American actress, walks into his shop and they have a brief awkward encounter and then they meet again and William is surprised to find himself drawn to her. They have different social statuses. Obviously, William is an ordinary man and Anna is a movie star, but they begin a romantic relationship. They spend more time together, but there's challenges because of the differences. And Anna is constantly surrounded by paparazzi and fame, and then William deals with his own insecurities about being in a relationship with somebody so famous. So they face a lot of hurdles, including misunderstandings, media attention, and Anna's fear of being judged in her personal life. Eventually, after a series of ups and downs, including a breakup, they're able to reconcile, and in the end, they find a way to be together despite the complexities that come from their different worlds.
Yay.
Yeah, I thought this was cute. I think that the actress storyline is fun because it makes the woman the prize, and like he's
Yeah,
pining after
love it.
her. And I think the speech she gives at the end is like really sweet, where they're like she's like in the press conference and she says like. They're like, how long are you planning on staying in London? And she's like, indefinitely, because she knows that she wants to be with him.
Yes.
And I think
her
Julia
man.
Roberts is just a ray of sunshine. Yeah, and I
beautiful.
also think that, you know, her defying the restrictions and exploitations that come with her job and saying, like, screw all of that for love. Because, like, she was saying that she wants to keep her personal life personal. And, like, there's a lot of issues with that in the movie of, like, her not wanting to, like, say that she's dating anyone or, like, be able to say that she's dating him. And then he's insecure about that. But, like,
Yeah.
she's just trying to keep her personal life. I also love when they do, like, Brits and Americans together in a movie. I don't know why.
Yes. Also, Hugh Grant.
Like,
I love him in a movie.
He was in this other show, like, with Nicole Kidman that was, like, really crazy that I
Wait.
watched. I think it was on, like, Max or Hulu or something, and it was with, like, death.
It's
And
a show?
it was with, like, a murder, and he was in the show,
Oh.
and he was, like, he was
I like
crazy.
Nicole Kidman, too.
I forget what it's called. I'm going to look it up right now because I'm going to recommend it
Okay.
to you guys. But keep talking about this movie.
Well, yeah. basically everything
The
Emma's been
Undoing.
saying.
It's called The Undoing, and it's on Max. Yes, so go watch it because it's really good. I watched it during COVID. But anyway.
Yeah, this movie, I just remember it made me feel very just like cutesy and giddy. Like I was like kicking my feet watching this one.
Yeah,
and then
it's adorable.
I love how he kind of like realizes I don't know, love prevails at the end because he's all like sad and he's like, oh, I let her go. And then he's in that room with all of his friends and they're like, what the heck? Go get her, basically.
Yeah.
Because of all the ups and downs that they went through.
His roommate, basically like the issue that they have at the end is his roommate calls the paparazzi on their house because like Anna had just slept over that night. And she thinks that he called the paparazzi on the house to like exploit her and like just make money off of getting the paps to be there.
Yeah.
And it was the roommate the whole time, and then she leaves and then they break up and it's so sad. But then the roommate is like, I'm so sorry, like you really have something special with her, and like I messed it up. It's one of those
movies where I was like, oh my god, like when bad things keep happening that don't have to happen,
but like
and it could have been
solved for the resolution,
like, communication.
Yeah,
I'm like, come on guys, just talk.
I also love the scene where he like, I think it's early in the movie where he pretends to be like a reporter because they like think that he's a reporter when he comes to the hotel room, and he's like, I'm from Horse and Hound. And he's like pretends to be from like this magazine that's like about horses and dogs.
That's so random.
And also he stands up against the misogyny that she faces. Like they're out at a restaurant and he tells these guys off who say that like basically Anna's job is like exactly the same as like a prostitute. And he like tells them off and says like
no.
You know, and he isn't into her for her beauty or her fame, and they have like real chemistry, and he like actually really likes her.
It's really cute.
It is really cute. I love it.
This one's very cutesy. I give it an 8 out of 10.
I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Oh.
Okay, I think I might change it to an 8 out of 10 though, because 7 is a little harsh. I think this movie is still good. But yeah, it's almost time to stop rolling. Yay. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode with Abby. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Maybe you learned something new. Maybe you're just chiming in. But you can check out my latest review on Letterboxd. My user is eBooth7. Do you use Letterboxd?
Yes.
Do you want to drop it?
No.
Okay. There we go. Also follow Film Maniacs on Instagram, filmmaniacs.whip, just with one M, and follow Whip Radio to You on Instagram as well. As always, ripradiotoyou.com will be your go-to locations to stay up to date, check out what we're brewing, and that's all we have for today, folks. We'll catch you next week. Bye.